Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin is looking like it wants to head towards $50,000, and that could be within minutes or within this stream. So, Bitcoin is on the uprise. Altcoins are doing the same. Altcoins are having a good day. So, let's discuss what's going on and one major reason why Bitcoin is going up. And it's going to continue to go up. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But in case I am late, that's why you want to hit that notification bell so you get notified of all my live streams. And make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the news and articles and guides, everything crypto related on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome. Good morning, guys. It's fantastic right now. There's no other way to put it. Unless you're a bear or a shorter, you're feeling good right now. You can see I have this very important red line drawn, and this is important resistance. And you can see that short term, Bitcoin's been trying to break it. Over here, over here, over here, here 4 times. And right now, just minutes ago, Bitcoin has broken through. And now it's holding above. And that happens to be right around 49.5. So, what does this mean? Well, it means that there's not a whole lot of resistances anymore above 50,000. I'm trying to zoom out a little bit to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. You could see that when Bitcoin fell from 60,000 down to 50,000, you could see it was a one tremendous swoop down. Now, there is something over here about 51,000, but that was a short stop. But you could see it pretty much went from 60 down to 50,000, right? And now we have clawed back to 50,000 or close to it. And going up here, well, there's just not a whole lot stopping Bitcoin, right? So, like I said, we could see 50,000 in near minutes or within this stream or later today. And once that happens, who knows? We could see a tremendous push upwards towards 60,000. And after we get to 60,000, guess what? Then it's time to make new highs. All right? It's been a long journey, I guess. But not really. Again, when you're in crypto world, you're watching your portfolio like seemingly every minute. Yeah, time is really, it seems like it's really, really slow, right? Like we've been stuck here forever. No, only a few months. It's not like it's years. It's not like crypto winter. Those of you guys that didn't live through crypto winter, well, I don't know if you would have survived because that was 3 long, hard years of down and disappointment. But for those that held and continued to dollar cost average, well, they got rewarded. They got rewarded big time for having the conviction and patience, and they've finally achieved financial freedom. So things are looking pretty darn positive. Pretty darn positive. And then look at this. You know, look at live coin watch. Overall market cap 2.15 trillion. And you have some big movers again, and even small movements at this point. It's just adding up. 1, 2, 5% every single day adds up to 20, 50, 70, 100% over a week or a month. So slow and steady gains right now is the name of the game, but that's okay. Because it's adding up, it's compounding upwards. And that's why you have players like Polkadot, that's up 27% for the week, even though it's only up 4% today. Solana only up barely, not even 1%, but 72% for the week. Cardano even having a down day today, still up 13%. BNB, right? Slow and steady, but there are some that are not slow. And it's just mooning up. Right, Solana's one of them. Luna's one of them. Avalanche recently. I do have something to share about Avalanche. Avalanche is on absolute tear right now. 161% for the week. 30% again for today. Cosmos. I've been telling you guys about Cosmos, right? How it's going to get its turn. Well, It's up 20% today, so that's not shabby, right? So you have a lot of good movers. Even Axie Infinity, one of the favorite NFT games out there. Slow and steady gains right now, 7%, 8% today, 15% for a week. It's all adding up. It's all adding up, and I'm sure those of you guys that's been watching your portfolio, you're seeing those gains. And by the way, speaking of portfolio, if you don't have a portfolio tracker, what you need to do is get on Delta. Delta investment app. Absolutely free. One of the best ones out there. And you could track everything. All of your cryptos on all the exchanges out there. You can manually input it. You can also just import it directly, right? And it's absolutely free. It's one of the best ones out there. I've been using it for years. So one of my new partners of this channel. But in case you don't have a good portfolio tracker, download Delta. All right, so what else is going on today? Well, I saw this from our good friend Will. Supply held by long-term Bitcoin holders had reached new all-time high. These entities now hold 12.7 million Bitcoin. That's about 67% of the supply. 84% when adjusting for lost coins. And lost coins meaning lost Bitcoin between, 3, 4, 5 million. So you can see this yellow right here, this neon thing that's going up and down. But we have reached a point where, think about it, 84% of all Bitcoins out there is either lost or already held by long-term holders. Think about that. That means only 16% of the entire supply is floating around right now on exchanges. And as more and more people, companies, countries, institutions buy up that 16%, it's going to start dropping to 15, 14, 10, 5, 1%. Guess what's going to happen to the price, right? It's going to go to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. That is what's happening right now. There is just a lot of buying and holding. And this is why a lot of people, including myself, think that this cycle could be different. Traditionally, Bitcoin follows a 4-year cycle. You have 3 down years, 1 terrific year. And that 1 terrific year is after a halving event. Well, guess what? The halving event came last year. We're in that terrific year this year. However, maybe future cycles change. When you have this many people and companies and institutions holding Bitcoin and they're not selling and the supply keeps decreasing as global adoption increases, well, who's to say that the price will ever come down, right? Or maybe not to the same extent as before. Bitcoin has dropped 85, 86%. Altcoins have dropped 90, 95%, 99% in some cases. But this time around may be different. So this is definitely one major reason why Bitcoin is going up and continues to go up, because you have just a lot of people that's buying it, no longer panicking, no longer trying to day trade and getting wrecked. What they're doing is buying and holding. It's that simple. And it's not just with Bitcoin. If you look at this for Ethereum, same thing. Reserves off the exchanges is dropping like a rock. The total supply out there is locked into DeFi, locked into Beacon Chain, and a lot of it is being burned. So much of it is being burned. Looking at EIP 1559, about 71, almost 72,000 ETH has already been burned just within a few weeks. That's adding up to $235 million worth of ETH already gone. So it's not just with Bitcoin. Ethereum is seeing the same thing. This is why Ethereum is holding well. And I'm sure we're seeing, if I had the statistics with me, it would probably be the same thing with a lot of other major big caps, such as Cardano, which seemingly has more and more people just staking it. It doesn't have burning yet. It doesn't really have DeFi or NFTs yet, but it has a vast community where they just keep staking more and more and more and more, and over 72% of all ADA is staked, right? So this is the reason why you want to hold on to altcoins and crypto, because it's just getting more and more and more scarce. That's really what it comes down to. Not so much you have a lot of technical lines telling you, it's because there's just a lot of reasons for people and companies and institutions to be buying right now, and that's exactly what they're doing. So, I like this. I like this a lot. Now, what else is there? This article also has some more metrics, including one from Plan B that I have shown you guys before with stock to flow, and he still indicates, or he's predicting, that Bitcoin's minimum dollar amount by the end of the year is 100,000, but he feels like we are shooting much higher, more like $288,000. So versus where we are now, that's about 5x, a little bit more than 5x, okay? So think about that. Bitcoin has a chance to go up 5x within the last 4 months of this year. And this month is almost over. So really, the last 3 months of this year. And I've experienced similar situations before. In 2013 and 2017, that's exactly what happened. But you may be thinking, well, George, the dollar amount is so much higher. There's no way it could go up the same amount or same ratio as before. Well, that may be true. But right now, like I said, we have so much adoption and awareness and just people and companies entering. These are things that just didn't happen before. Even in 2017, we didn't have banks, we didn't have countries, we didn't have MicroStrategy, we didn't have Tesla and Square. We didn't have any of these guys. We didn't have Grayscale to the extent that it is now. We didn't have any of these things. And there's a lot of money out there. So can I really do a 3 to 5x by the end of this year? I think so. I agree. I think Bitcoin's going to be at least 100,000. And who knows what happens after that. FOMO, actually, that's another thing I want to talk about. FOMO generally hits in, right when you're about to peak. And it hasn't even really hit yet from the retail investors. And you know why? Well, look at Google search trends. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's search right now is so low. There's not a whole lot of FOMO from retail. If you expand out to 5 years, you realize, wow, this is like so low. It basically at the same point of December when Bitcoin first hit like 20,000. And it's nowhere the peak of 2017 when everyone was FOMOing in. In fact, you can argue that we're below the starting point of the Bitcoin rise back in 2017. Right? And that was late year. So FOMO didn't really occur yet or start yet with retail investors. You look at Ethereum, it is higher right now, but not nearly as high as before. So what does that mean? Well, this 3 to 5x that seems impossible may not be impossible. Forget the institutions, forget the banks, the wealthy investors, just retail investors. Just the amount of retail investors, their dollars FOMOing in towards the top, that has not happened yet. We're nowhere even close to that. And think about it. Even without retail FOMO, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, Solana, VeChain, all these players are going up to the moon without that. But imagine when that comes in, right? This is why I'm predicting if Bitcoin goes up 3 to 5x, these altcoins are going to go 5, 10, 20, maybe some of them go even more than that. And that would be amazing. Overall market cap right now is about 2 trillion, right? A little bit over 2 trillion. Can we see a 10 trillion market cap by the end of the year? That's a real possibility. All right. So with that said, I mentioned about Avalanche. And I saw this article, 3 reasons why Avalanche is going up. The biggest one has to be this new liquidity mining. Okay, so they launched Avalanche Rush, which is $180 million liquidity mining incentives. And they're partnering up with Curve Finance, which is a DEX for stablecoins, and Aave, of course, a lending project. So they're going to make it. Liquidity mining basically means that you can stake, but also get a synthetic version of that token back, so you could use that for DeFi purposes and maybe trade with it or earn interest with it. So that is what they're doing. And this really kicked things off in a big way. And also, they do have a bridge, Avalanche bridge, and it has transferred over 100 million tokens from and to Ethereum. So this is also a big thing. So for those of you guys that's wondering about Avalanche, these are two big things that occurred, and that is why it is exploding up right now. And this is really something I did not expect, but it did happen. So that's pretty fantastic for those of you guys that are into Avalanche. Now, while I've been talking, look at this. Ooh, getting very, very close. Very close. 49.6. We go see that 50,000 in this stream, maybe, if I keep talking. Real quick, update on my I am George 0001 NFT. Wow, there is a bidding war. The latest bid is 3 ETH. Now this, my very first NFT, is worth almost $10,000. That's amazing. Thanks to all of you guys that have shown interest, that have supported me, and have bidded. There's only 3 days left for the very first I Am George NFT, but there, of course, is going to be more. That's why it's number 0001, the first of many. All right, lastly, I do have a new sponsor, a really quick one. I do have a short video to show you guys, and that is from Aleph, which is a project that came out of Null's incubator. So very, very cool. So they're cloud computing for DeFi and Web 3.0 simplified. So what does this mean exactly? Well, that is what this video is all about. It's a very short video. Take a look, and then we will do Q&A.
The internet is broken. What used to be a decentralized network powered by millions of self-hosted servers is all but gone. Today, every image you share, every video you watch, every form you fill, flows through centralized networks controlled by just a handful of companies. But there's a change coming, a monumental shift. And at Aleph.im, we're supercharging the transition to a new decentralized era. An era that provides fully decentralized cloud storage, computing, and identity services, powered by incentivized self-hosted servers. Built from the ground up, our unique architecture blends both off-chain and on-chain technologies to support an ever-growing constellation of blockchains and companies. We've built the tools that allow you to store any file of any size on our proven decentralized network. Protect your precious NFTs securely on our network for eternity with our pioneering backup dApp. Unleash the power of our decentralized virtual machines, allowing you to run dApps in any language that can also read and write to blockchains or be triggered by off and on-chain events. Be empowered to store, build, and launch incredible things in this new era of decentralization. Join us at Aleph.im.
Sound was off. I got it. So that is Aleph. If you want to check them out, their URL is in the description of this video. Well, good thing, because I took a sip of water, so it was a good break. Someone said Diablo 2 Remastered came out today. Here's an interesting fact. The very first Diablo 2 beta, they had 1,000 people test it out, and guess who was one of the beta testers? Me, that's right. I was in college. My friend was huge into Diablo. He's like, hey, you got to go sign up for this beta, right? Like he's like, they're going to randomly pick 1,000 people. And I didn't know about the game. I'm like, sure. I just signed up, and boom, I got the beta. He got pissed off. So if you look at Diablo 2 and you wait for the credits, if you beat it and you wait for the credits, there's a section where it says like a ring of 1,000, and I'm in there, just so you guys know. But I don't have time to play Diablo 2 Remastered. I don't think I have time, so. But I want to look at it and see how good it is. Anyways, someone at the very beginning asked me about VimWorld, okay? And I think VimWorld is early, And I do think that it's a great project, and of course they are a partner of this channel. But, you know, VeChain right now overall is doing fantastic. They have their supply chain stuff, but they also have consumer-based NFTs right now, like VimWorld that's leading the way, and others like VPunks that's also doing very well too. So overall, I think it's very early, but VimWorld has the gaming aspect to it, just like Axie Infinities and others. So that's why it could definitely be big in the future. All right, Shizzy Wits asks 1K extra, better to DCA or put it all into something that you can hold over 5 to 7 years. I don't know. It's you know, I still say even with something like 1,000, spread out your buys. Okay, like spread it out. If you don't want to DCA, you just want to buy long-term holds, then you know spread it out like 4 or 5 ways and find a dip, like a good buying opportunity. There's always one that's around the corner, okay? And then you just buy a little bit, pick up the dips, and spread out those buys. And you could buy projects that you want to hold 5 to 7 years, but you know, otherwise you just DCA into something that you could still hold 5 to 7 years. Do you think Yearly can 50x? I don't know. That's a weird question. I can't tell you if it 50x. Someone says, iOS in-app review. This bull year is all about Solana. Solana is definitely a good one. I've been telling you guys that I picked up on it late, but once I did pick up on it, I'm like, man, this is a good project. So I covered them in like March or April. I forgot what they were at, but they were much lower than where they are now. So they have definitely been doing well. And, you know, the biggest thing is when you have someone like Sam from Alameda and FTX supporting it, I mean, that's going to carry it very far. Very far indeed. Acid. Currently, 50% Doge is in my portfolio, 50% mine in 2013. Is now the best to diversify or should I wait for the next Doge pump? Well, Doge, you know, I've been noticing like the meme coins, you know, not just Doge, but like Shiba and SafeMoon and Baby Doge and all of them. They're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Doge, I've always said it's different because it's been around, it's been tested. And you have a lot of great, huge supporters, right? So Doge, I think, will continue to go up. Will it go up as fast as some of these protocols? I don't think so. So if you're asking, if you're 100% or 50% in Doge in your portfolio, that's way too high in my opinion. It should be 50% big cap, 50% Bitcoin, or maybe a little bit lower if you want more in big caps. But 25, 30, 35% in big caps, and you're already above that. So just think about it that way. And Doge is, in my opinion, a big cap. Jeff, that's a big super chat. I appreciate it. I will use that for tonight for dinner, although that may just be reserved for me and not my family. But I appreciate it. Ernest, always appreciate you. Alice asked about AMP. AMP is a good project. I told you guys, AMP, you know, got pumped a lot recently. So a lot of people are disappointed right now. Like, why is AMP not moving? It was like that before. It didn't move for a long time until it did. It had a lot of good news, and the Coinbase edition also helped it, right? So it's up there. You just have to be patient with it. Do I collect baseball shoes? No, I do not. Basketball shoes I would consider, but no, it's not something for me. I do have a friend that's really into it, but I love some of the old retro Jordans. I grew up with them. I still think they're like the best looking shoes. Like, I just feel like basketball shoes got real ugly. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of BDT, Dylan, but I do like Digibyte. I think they have good potential. Can you explain the difference between BCH and BDC? Isn't BCH supposed to be an improved version? No, it's not an improved version. It's a copy. It's a copy. So it's like taking your favorite art or a favorite car and someone tries to copy it, but it's just not the same. And the reason for the copy was stupid because Roger and Zhihuan Wu wanted to make money. They thought they had more power. They wanted to push the devs in the community to increase the block size. That was the only it. They wanted to increase the block size because they're like, oh, we think bigger blocks is better. And, they started bashing the community. They forked off BCH and they thought they had enough power to drive the community towards it. And they didn't. It's a failed experiment. Zhihuan Wu got kicked out of Bitmain because of it. Because he bought way too much BCH with their money and they kicked him out of the company. Roger right now is staying quiet. So BCH is a failed experiment. And it's just simply a copy, and that's why I will never support it. You want Bitcoin, you go with Bitcoin. You go with the real thing. Veracity is actually doing pretty good recently. Pretty good. I've always been neutral on it. I'll stay neutral on it for now because the big hype about this project was, hey, it could count real views. Like you could use this player, you can integrate into Twitch or YouTube, and the views will be accurate. There's a patent for it, but that didn't appeal to me. But what they are doing right now, rather than just focus on that, they're partnering with a lot of esports projects and tournaments, and they're just getting themselves out there, right? Also, you could stream on there. They're trying to be like almost like a Theta competitor. But I think they are doing the right things. Still relatively small cap, but they have been doing very well. So good for them. Good for them. Red Robles. Appreciate that. Hey, Michael, thank you. Hey, I wonder if Terry's back. Last stream, man. Terry was complaining, sent me some big super chats. Didn't have any questions attached to him. And then when I asked him about it, he did not respond. I wonder if Terry's back. Why do you think Link isn't talked about much? Do you think people don't understand? I don't know, because it's not very sexy at this point. It's the biggest oracle. Everyone uses them. There's it's like the internet. Like, why does anyone talk about the internet? Well, it's because everyone's using it already. So I think that's kind of like the chain link effect where every project uses them already. But there's new players that's always coming in trying to compete, but they're just dominant right now. So do you think Cardano September 12th might cause a snowball effect all the way to December? Could. Going from now to September 12th, there could be a snowball effect, meaning a big snowball pump. And all the way to December, because that's when the entire market, I think, was going to really start rattling. I think late September, October is when we're going to really see some real movement. And November, December is going to be, I think, fantastic. So, ACH, Alchemy Pay, starting to come up again. They got pumped up to the moon because Binance Pay integration and the Coinbase edition, they took a breather, but they may be ready to jump back up. They are an AMP competitor, much smaller, Asian-based, but they have a lot of good integrations already with Shopify and others. So I like ACH. Where's Terry? All right, anything else? Hey, George, love your streams every day. Been watching for months. I've concluded market will go up when the institutions are done buying. I don't agree with that. It'll go up even when they're buying. Doesn't mean that they're done buying. Any chance reserves could change my opinion? I don't know. If you're from the team, I don't know. Write me an email and try to change my mind. I just think the overall project is not too appealing. I guess reserve rights also is in that space with Alchemy and AMP. But the difference is they have a stable coin algorithmic stablecoin that's pegged to $1, backed by a lot of other stablecoins, and they're in the payment system. You know, they're in that realm where you can use it to buy things with it. I mean, it's, I don't know if you could change my mind. But Ty, if you're with the team, send me an email and try to change my mind. I don't know what Bitfarms is. So no, I can't look it up and I don't have an opinion about it. Filecoin, Michael says. I don't know about Filecoin. Filecoin is a project that's just not very sexy at all. You may be looking at a chart, you say, but, you know, Filecoin is just not very sexy. Decentralized storage had their pump, okay? But decentralized storage is just one of those things not a lot of people care about. It's like, you get, storage is so cheap these days. But decentralized storage is different, so you don't have to utilize Dropbox or Box itself or Google Cloud, you know. I get it. And then you can also share space to make some money. But Filecoin is just not something I'm very interested in. The only storage play is Arweave, because all the Solana projects, if they need storage, they could utilize Arweave. So AVAX, 70% of circuit supply is staked. Well, very similar to Cardano then. Yeah, I talked about Avalanche. And this liquid mining and the bridge has really helped them spike up. Now, if you're wondering if you should get in right now, I always say no. When something goes up this much, this fast, you wait until it take a breather before getting in, right? Because it'll always take a breather. Kind of like Luna Terra, which also has gone up crazy fast, but not even as fast as Avalanche. But you can see it always tops out. It takes a breather, right? That's what you want to do with Avalanche. But I may have been wrong about Avalanche. That's one project I've never got into. I've always said I was neutral on it. I didn't like what they were doing with Frontier. But you know what? They're proving themselves, definitely. It's funny because I'm gonna give Rob from Digital Asset News some credit tomorrow during DCA, because he was talking about, I was looking at Avalanche. They look like they have some good stuff coming. And both James and I were like, we don't really like it. And they had a tremendous pump. But unfortunately, he didn't pick that to be his coin of the week. So, never seen you talk about BNB. Any thoughts? I always talk about BNB. Just recently, there's just a lot of FUD around regulations. That's why they're not doing good. That's simply it. But they do have their own chain with a ton of DeFi NFTs. So that is still separating them from all the other exchanges out there, or most of them. All right, last few questions. Been holding since 57, almost home. Congratulations, bought the dip. It was scary as hell, but now those are up 100 to 250%. Jimmy, I'm glad to hear that. That's the power of DCA. Sometimes when I talk about it, sometimes when I show it, people don't believe it, right? You want a DCA, you want a dollar cost average when things are down. It brings your average price down. So when things recover, now rather than just get back to zero, you're in the green. And that's what a lot of people did, took advantage when we dropped down to 28, 29. Congratulations, including you, Jimmy. All right, last few questions. Real quick. Question about NFT. Do you put up the art or you wait, don't someone to mint or mint yourself? It's just like an auction. I think you're getting confused, Marcus. It's just an auction and people bid on it. You said you hold cash on hand, right? Yes. Do you believe you missed profits by not following advice to buy the dip? No, because I have a tremendous amount in the game already. Okay, I used to be like that. I used to be like you, Augie, where I feel like if I have a cash on the side and things go up, I'm like, oh no, I didn't make as much money. I should have put all of it in, right? But I've lived through enough of these dips where I realized that, yeah, having cash on the side to buy major dips is important. But if I miss it, who cares? Who cares? Okay, I'm still in the green. I lost out a little profit, but I have a shitload within already, so it doesn't really matter to me anymore. And I just it really it doesn't even really matter how much you have in there. I do think having cash on the side is important though. Yield node, I don't know what that is. All right, I gotta go. Chili's, like it, really good. Great stream, thank you. Do you think Ethereum Classic will pump up? I don't know. I don't like the Ethereum Classic. They have no future. Even Charles said so. Should we DC it out of the market? You mean take profits? I'm going to do that after we break 64,000. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Market is looking strong. Unfortunately, we didn't get 50,000 during the stream, but it should be coming. It should be coming near in the future. So stay strong, my friends, and I'll see you guys hopefully tonight. Maybe I don't stream tonight. I am going somewhere, but I'll let you guys know, so follow me on Twitter. All right? Take